Going to speak against me, then use the same courage that it took for me to say those truths. Man to man, eye to eye, integrity and in truth.
Do it, right? And I know you've been heavy on social media, talked about it, did it.
And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy. I mean,
But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated.
Following the release of his exclusive interview in which he named all the celebrities who were truly linked with Diddy, Terrence Howard has reportedly been threatened because of the identities he disclosed. A new lawsuit that has been filed in court implicating Jay-Z, Beyonce, and even LeBron James has further exacerbated Diddy's predicament. This demonstrates that Diddy has ties to some of the largest names in the business, and if Diddy is put in jail, the worst sex trafficking organization in Hollywood would collapse.
Going to speak against me, then use the same courage that it took for me to say those truths. Man to man, eye to eye, integrity and in truth. I've spent a lifetime earning the right to speak with the conviction about these truths that I speak. So if you want to tear that down, have the decency to come and say it directly to my face. And say it like a man.
Terrence Howard, an Oscar-nominated actor, quit the movie business because he was aware of what goes on behind closed doors. Diddy's arrest and the tapes he recorded demonstrate that couch casting and shut the up. Favors are the foundation of this profession. Terrence Howard recently disclosed on a Patrick Bet-David podcast that he turned down some of the biggest roles of his career in order to uphold his ethics. Terrence had values, but Diddy wanted to have sex with him.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands-off with somebody. A number of producers come in to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman.
According to Terrence, those who accept these offers and compromise their morals will always be plagued by the abuse. If achieving success requires sacrificing your respect, what good is it? Terrence claims that celebrities like Usher and Justin Bieber are mentally ill and use narcotics to block out the memories of their mistreatment.
So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in. No matter what.
Terrence Howard tweeted before his interview saying he was just getting started and that he would expose all the falsehoods. The great falsehood comes to an end here. Now that the truth has come to light after years of waiting, let us live by it. We are dismantling this whole deception system. The revolution is underway. Stay tuned and make room for life. We have only just begun. Following his interview, Terrence Howard reportedly received threats and was approached by the individuals he had discussed. Terrence Howard stated in a video that was released following his interview that,
listen, before y'all talk about me, y'all need to talk to me. You see, once upon a time, If a man questioned another man's honor, he didn't do it from the shadows. He had to do it out in the open, with his name, his chest out, and his chin high. Not hiding behind a keyboard or tucked behind edited clips of fair use disclaimers. You see, citing Section 107 of the Copyright Act does not give you free rein to defame, misrepresent, or harm another's reputation. Fair use is not a shield for character assassination. So here's the simple truth. If you take my words, my image, my ideas, and twist them to feed your fear and inflate your ego, if you profit off of my name while calling me a liar, then be prepared to stand behind your accusation.
When we take a closer look at what Terrence Howard has been saying, we find that there are many predators in Hollywood. The film industry is rife with sexual abuse, and some of the biggest names in the business, including Roman Polanski, Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, and now Diddy, were sexual predators who coerced young men into engaging in horrible sex practices. These individuals are members of the gay mafia that dominates the music and film industries. Directors and executives of record companies join Diddy in the sex trafficking operation.
You got to take drugs. You're going through so much shit to try and deal with life. You are literally, it's an unhealthy space. And so eventually you're going to go too far, you know? Who knows what happened to Philip? Who knows what he had to do in order to get to where he was at? There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head, you know? But when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and do all those things, when you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card.
50 Cent has been saying this for years. All of the celebrities who attended Diddy's wild parties were aware of what was happening behind the scenes, but they chose to remain silent because that is how you succeed in this business. All of Diddy's visitors are accused of permitting the mistreatment of children and assisting Diddy in hiding his wrongdoings. 50 was not into any of this, therefore he never attended Diddy's events.
You and Puff haven't liked each other business-wise for a long time.
Well, that's why. It's only business. It was really... Away from that, I explained why I didn't hang out with him. Right? Because it's a little fluffy stuff going on.
It's not your scene.
It's not my stuff.
Not your scene.
They hug you from the front and the back at the same time. I got uncomfortable with him because the way he was acting to try and get me to hang out with him was like, yo, I'll take you shopping. Like, and I'm like, what you mean? Like, that's something you say to a woman you're attracted to, maybe.
Right.
It's just weird, bro. Like, and now you start to see a lot of the weird stuff that was there. It looks like it all lines up, don't it? It was not in the closet. It was in front of you and you wasn't seeing it because you see the beards. Or you see the girls. So you didn't look at them the way it actually is to a degree. When I say people respond, how people respond to things matter, like the internet will take to it and just go off with it. Meek responds being the uncomfortability He goes, yo, nah, I spend $100,000 to find out why my name is in this like this. And it's in it only because he's uncomfortable.
Following 50's rejection of Diddy, Meek Mill started spending time with him, shopping with him, and attending parties dressed alike. 50 claimed to have rejected Diddy because he understood the true meaning of their relationship. Diddy wanted to have sex with 50, but 50 refused. In exchange for fame and money, Meek Mill was willing to give up his man card, so he said yes.
Got close when he offered to take you shopping.
Yeah, you see, now Meek is in the same shirt. He's out there in the same shirt. This is not Photoshop.
Shit.
This is really stop it, man. You set that up. Look, obviously was not offended by what I was offended by. Guys may say to a girl, you know, like, let me take a shot. See?
Damn.
They found it that quick.
What do you think is happening in the middle?
I don't know what is going on.
Wow,
there. Because it was like, he was like, yo, you hot now. Now we got to hang out now. Like, you know, like hang out.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know, man. I take you shopping and I get you some fly shit and you can give me the hood shit. And I was looking and I was like, let me just move away from him because I'm going to mess up the way. Certain things, they let it go by because it's Puff. He wasn't like in the closet. He was like in the hallway.
Meek Mill was not the only person involved with Diddy. As the new lawsuits now demonstrate, Jay-Z and Beyonce have long been Diddy's supporters and have attended his freak-off parties. For the sole purpose of expanding their empire and advancing their careers, Jay-Z and Beyonce got married. It is only a matter of time until they are indicted like Diddy, as their names have already appeared in 2 other lawsuits.
Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those fucking trophies, trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
Wow. You're gonna let him say that?
Jay was getting Grammys.
he had one.
Exactly.
He had
And
one.
he ain't show up.
He has like 20 now.
Hold on.
He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
You're not wrong.
He was one. After that, he got them shits. He's like drinking. His pictures with him like fucking things the cup.
You can look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce. Right? And you go, prior to that, 1.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that came in association, like you see their kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing.
Right.
They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys and shit. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming to the award show. It meant that much to the culture that they just gave them.
Diddy was engaged with all of the top rappers. Even though they have all fallen silent, the evidence will always be there. Just look at all of the people who were out having fun with Diddy in 2010. Diddy has always had a tight relationship with Busta Rhymes, Rick Ross, DJ Khaled, and Usher. A shooter forced the closure of Trump's National Doral Golf Course in Miami in May 2018. Jonathan Audy asserted that he was being controlled and claimed to be Diddy's purported slave.
You better believe it. Shout at Def Jam, we the best. You know what it is. It's 2010, baby. It's the takeover. I'm going in.
Happy New Year to the whole planet. God is the greatest. Real talk. And you know, I mean, if there's anything that somebody can say better than that, I'm all ears. But with that being said, continuous blessings to the whole entire universe.
Big shout out to my man Drake is in the house. Fabulous is in the house. There's no brotherly love. My biggest brother of them all, the boss, Ricky Ross is in the house. Ricky Ross, report to the grass. DJ Khaled, he's the best. He's in the house. Tiana Taylor is in the house. My brother Chris Brown. I'm gonna stick with him from thick and thin. Chris Brown is in the house. You know what I'm saying? Cause something ain't right. So I know Chris Brown is in the house. Big shout out to my son Quincy, my son Christian, my son Justin.
Diddy and Ross, which they good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They're all gay, okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross,
yeah.
and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Khaled is a Hamas supporter. Okay?
Who supporter?
Hamas.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said it wrong.
No worries.
Hamas supporter, okay? I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot.
Oh, hidden in plain sight.
It's hidden.
I think I see what you're saying.
Okay, how do I know this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this?
Do you know Sean Combs?
And I'm sure that's probably not public information yet, but who's the person that's number one on that invitation list?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
And I can get on that list,
yes,
right?
Without a doubt, you are invited.
That is so generous of you. Cheers to that.
See you at the White.
Things are considerably worse for Beyonce and Jay-Z. 3 more well-known celebrities are included as witnesses in the recent case in which they were named. And this time, the defendant is not an unidentified John Doe. Jay-Z, Beyonce, LeBron James, and Gloria Estefan were recently the targets of a new civil case for allegedly participating in a private party where a man was assaulted and humiliated. Defendant Joseph Manzaro claims that he was the victim of a coercive and organized criminal operation in 2015, where he was drugged, transported without his will, and sexually maimed. As he awaits his federal trial, Sean Diddy Combs is being charged with human trafficking once more. As a victim of a coercive and organized criminal enterprise facilitated by Combs and others back in 2015, Joseph Manzaro claims in a civil case filed in Florida on April 1st that he was drugged, transported against his will, and sexually maimed, according to court documents obtained by E! News. He named celebrities like Beyonce, Jay-Z, and LeBron James as witnesses in the lawsuit. According to Manzaro's complaint, the alleged incidents happened in April 2015. He claims he was taken to another house where a Combs associate allegedly informed him that the music mogul wanted him taken to a freak-off event after he passed out after feeling a, quote, greasy substance that resembled Vaseline as he opened the front door of his house. In the lawsuit, Manzaro claims he was surreptitiously taken to the music producer's residence via a hidden tunnel purportedly leading to Gloria and Emilio Estefan's Miami estate. He claims that after partially regaining consciousness, he entered a sizable party space, thinking it was a birthday celebration for Combs' 17-year-old son, Christian Combs. He was allegedly made to appear there wearing a penis mask. According to the lawsuit, Beyonce Knowles Carter and Jay-Z were seated in the room when they noticed Manzaro. She then requested, "What's this? What's this all about? Why is this half-naked white man with a penis mask standing here in front of me?" In a lawsuit, Manzaro claims that after that, he was dragged through many rooms full of people who were insulting and jeering at him.
High-profile individuals, including Jacob Arabo, Jay-Z, Gloria Estefan, LeBron James, and Beyonce Knowles Carter, are identified as witnesses due to their presence or knowledge of the events surrounding the freak-off orchestrated by defendant Diddy. Wow. And freak-off, of course, is something that we've heard many times before, both in Combs' criminal case and other civil cases, to describe these prolonged sexual episodes, usually with sex workers. But Manzaro is suing Sean Combs. He is suing a man named Eric Mejias. He is suing Brendan Paul, who's been described in another lawsuit as Sean Combs' drug mule, Emilio Estefan, who is married to pop superstar Gloria Estefan, and Adria English, who filed her own lawsuit against Sean Combs, claiming she too was a victim of sex trafficking. By the way, it's interesting he's not suing these other celebrities that I mentioned, like Jay-Z and Beyonce and Gloria Estefan, possibly because he doesn't believe their alleged liability amounted to a civil claim, but seems to want to call them as witnesses at a trial, although I have to imagine they will do everything in their power to quash any subpoena.
Will Smith is another well-known figure attempting to avoid the Diddy accusations. "I have not gone anywhere near those damn freak-offs," Will Smith quips during a comedy engagement in San Diego. "I do not even like baby oil," he adds. In reaction to accusations made against Diddy, which named Will Smith as a close acquaintance, this statement was made. It is interesting to note that Will Smith's former assistant claims to have witnessed Will cheating on Jada with Dwayne Martin.
World we're in right now, it's really hard for y'all to discern what's real and what's true. You know, and I've been seeing y'all memes and stuff too. Been making memes. I see the memes. I say no, some of that stuff is funny. Some of it's funny. But I haven't addressed any of this publicly. But I just want to say this very clearly. I don't have to do with Puffy, so y'all can stop all the memes. I can sub all of that, but I ain't been nowhere near no damn freak off. Listen, I do enough of my own. Don't be putting me in other people. I ain't getting nowhere near that, man. I ain't did none of that stupid. So, whatever y'all hearing, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie. I ain't even like baby oil.
Terrence Howard stated that 50 has nothing to conceal, in contrast to these crooks. The only reason Terrence Howard and 50 Cent can publicly expose Diddy's associates is because they were never present at these gatherings. They have nothing to conceal.
And you don't throw out allegations, but like, you kind of poke fun at them. Just ask questions. You're not worried that it comes back your way? Like people dig up your past and try to post stuff up?
I don't got that shit in my past.
Not everybody got lied back. I took, not that it's real.
No, I took a pill, but it was for me to perform better. Or to remember, buddy.
I didn't fucking give her a drink till she forget what the fuck happened. What the fuck is going on here, bro? Yes, I took I gave me a fucking drug to perform. So she can remember and possibly love me for that. Didn't work. What the fuck? Yo, bro, look, I'm doing pretty good. But I'm just saying, this is the opposite of normal shit that we're talking about, bro.
Why? Well, I don't know why it's so hard for people to think.
When I say it's weird to have something, or you would have reserved energy because you feel like you was doing it too. Then this is people that are looking on separation between their hardships or their the things that they got going on that would be issues, and what a celebrity's issues would be.
Do it right, and I know you've been heavy on social media, talked about it, did it.
And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now, and then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy. I mean,
but I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated to a degree.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what was going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
Series that you've been working on, Diddy Do It.
Right.
You've been saying for years that you feel you knew Diddy's character.
Right.
Yet you said you weren't a part of that lifestyle, you weren't going to the parties. So what makes you so absolutely sure that these kinds of allegations that we've seen against him are true?
Well, I'm surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is. Like, I didn't make the allegations. I didn't tell people to say these things. It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else. But I did feel uncomfortable with the way you represent the idea of going to these projects.
To come party with me.
Yeah. And then that swayed me away from it. Just that alone.
So you didn't realize
as much stuff was coming. Like, when I seen today, it was allegations of 3 men that said he drugged them. And it's a long time, to be honest with you. Like, when people don't remember being violated for 20 years, it makes me feel a little hard.
What are your thoughts on the allegations against Jay-Z?
That was interesting. When I was saying things, not knowing exactly what I was saying, I was going with, like, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet.
In his next documentary, Diddy Do It, 50 will expose all of Diddy's deceptions. This documentary, which was announced in December 2023 and is scheduled to air in the coming weeks, will expose Diddy's secrets and all those connected to him. Netflix said in a statement, "This is a narrative with enormous human consequences. It is a multi-decade story that goes beyond the headlines and videos that have been shown thus far. We are unwavering in our resolve to offer genuine and complex viewpoints and to give voice to those who lack it."
It's kind of interesting. I think that civil suit turned into a look. They looked at it like maybe it's a criminal situation.
Right.
A little early, and it could have been the same lobbyists and the same people that use their connections to make that happen for Puff.
Is that kind of why you was going hard on him the last couple years? Is it because of the liquor situation? Because, to be honest, since the situation he's in now, it's kind of like you fell back on him. Was this all over the liquor, or you just said?
Well, most of that was motivation. That was competing,
right?
For, with brands, and they was ahead of me.
Right.
Because he had been working on Ciroc and stuff like that. And then integrating it into our culture with Coco Loso and different things with different people connected to it. So Yeah, that's what that was. But when you look at, he would do a lot of foul shit. Like
Diddy's group is going crazy. They just moved to postpone Diddy's trial, but the judge rejected their request. According to Diddy's attorneys, they require an additional 2 months to get ready for the trial. It is interesting to note that Mark Agnifilo, Diddy's lawyer, stated that his team was prepared months prior, but now that the moment has come to prove his claims, he is withdrawing. There is no denying the evidence against Diddy.
Today, the music mogul appeared in court asking for a 2-month delay, but it was denied by the judge. Combs also asking to exclude a March 2016 video obtained by CNN, which apparently shows Combs physically assaulting his then girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. His attorneys allege the tape was manipulated, which CNN denies. Let's bring in ABC News chief investigative reporter Aaron Katersky, along with legal contributor and trial attorney Brian Buckmeyer. Aaron, let's start with you. It looks like court is going to start next month, that trial, despite that request of a pushback from Diddy and his defense team. What more do we know about what happens next?
Well, it's going to start with jury selection May 5th. The judge denied a request from Sean Combs' legal team for a 2-month adjournment to try and resolve some evidentiary disputes. The judge said there was no reason that he saw that there needed to be that kind of a delay. Still plenty of time to prepare for trial.
Additionally, more victims are coming forward. It has already been announced that Cassie would be called as one of the witnesses in the future case by federal prosecutors. There were just 2 victims in this case at first, but it appears that there may now be 5 confirmed witnesses who will be asked to testify.
About either, by the way, victim 4 or victim 5?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
Absolutely. I know on Tuesday when we had spoke, we were talking a lot about victim 4, who we know to be a former employee of Sean Diddy Combs. And a lot of the issues surrounding victim 4 in this particular part was about her emails. I can't confirm that this victim is a woman. But as far as her emails goes, the defense wanted the full scope of the emails that the government did not have access to. And so the defense, to their point, they just wanted the full extent of it so it can show a clear picture, because previously they were arguing that this alleged victim was just cherry picking messages and emails between herself and Diddy and sending it over to the government. The defense on their part, they wanted the full scope of the emails. But as far as the judge and his ruling, he said that requesting the full extent of the emails, which by the way are like 100,000 emails. It's a lot of emails, especially if you were having trial next month. But the request he had said, he being the judge, was a fishing expedition. But he said, and he kind of left the door open with this, that if the defense wanted to make a renewed motion pointing to specific emails, specific key terms, then they could go about filing the appropriate paperwork, see how they could go about doing that.
There is no going back from the fact that some of Hollywood's top celebrities are being drawn into the spotlight. 50 Cent warned us, and now that the Diddy Do It documentary is coming out, victims are coming forward, and lawsuits are mounting, the truth is finally coming to light.